Hello again, YouTubers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Board Game Captain, and today I'm going to be reviewing and showing you how to play Asking for Trobols. Now, this is the second edition of Asking for Trobols, and I had not played it in the first, so this is my introduction to the game. So I cannot compare it to the first edition, but I will be specifically reviewing the second edition. Now, this game was designed by Christian Strain and Aaron McDonald, and was published by Breaking Games and Kraken Games. Also, in the second edition printing, they have a Dice Tower Seal of Excellence on it. So you already know that the people over the Dice Tower really liked this game. Now, this game is listed as 2 to 7 players for ages 12 and up, and it is a 60 to 90 minute game. So let's start there. Now, I have not played this game at more than 4 players. However, the turns in this game are so fast that I don't see there being any real problem with slowdown at large player counts. The only big difference is you get less workers, less ships, because this is a worker placement game, at larger player counts. You have more ships at smaller player counts. Now, there is a slightly different way to play in the 2-player game, but it's a very minor difference. In this game, when you place on a space that your opponent is already on, you bump them off of that space. In the 2-player game, you also get bonus resources if it's a basic resource gathering space. So it's a slight difference, but it doesn't really feel like a whole different game. And actually, the 2-player version is quite fun. I have played it almost as much at 2 players as I have at 3 and 4 because it's quite good at 2 players. The ages 12 and up might be a bit of an overestimate. This game is actually quite easy to learn. In fact, this is an easy-to-learn game with not overly complicated rules, made even easier by the rulebook, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. I would drop this down probably to about 8 or 9. As for the 60 to 90 minutes, that is a good estimate. This is a mid-weight game with about a mid-weight length to it. Now, let's open it up and we'll have a look at a few of the components real quick. So now, inside the box, the first thing you've got is the rulebook. Now, the rulebook is full color, loaded with diagrams showing you the setup. Everything is handled in detail. This is an excellent rulebook. I have nothing to complain about. In fact, this is the kind of rulebook I wish everybody did. I mean, it's full of examples, lots of diagrams, no ambiguities, and then they have this marvelous sheet on the back, how to teach Trobols. Now, this sheet both runs you through a very easy way to explain everything you just read to other people, as well as being just a really great quick refresher. Because if you haven't played this game for a little while, and you're like, oh, I need a quick refresher, usually with most games you skim through the whole rule book, but you're worried about missing something. In this case, you just skim through the back of this and you're good. This is very well done. 2 big thumbs up for me on the rule book. Now, the board is a bit odd. It's a circle, not a square or rectangle like most game boards. I'm going to pull it open here to show you, but it is gorgeous. So now, I saw the artwork for the previous edition. A lot of people complained about the specific tones they used. They wanted to use a lot of orange and blue, but they've adjusted the tones for the second edition, and I think it looks great. Now, I didn't have as big a problem with it as other people do in the first edition, again, though I didn't actually play the first edition, just looking at pictures of it. But I think the second edition board is gorgeous. I really like this. This is a board that every time I pull it out, it gets comments from people, so I do really like the look of it. And it is a worker placement board. You have all the spaces clearly marked for where you place your workers, and then those spaces tell you exactly what they give you. So this one here, you can put a rocket ship on that little white circle with the rocket ship, and then it gives you 2 of these credits, that's what those symbols are, and a card. It's very simple, very easy to understand. Now we have a bunch of these little crystals in black and orange. Orange is crystal and black is ore. Now these, if you play a lot of modern board games, you've seen this shape of crystal before. It's the same shape, for instance, that was in Ascension, just with different colors. So that's some of the resources. Most of the rest of the resources are cardboard chits. Now I'm not going to pull them all out to show you because you're going to see them all in a minute when we have the game set up. But this has lots of fun different kinds of resources. You have space slugs, as you can see some of those slugs there, and there are traps and carrots. Here are the space carrots. And everything is generally orange and blue, which is really cool. You have the plastic rocket ships, which there are rocket ships of all different shapes. The different designs are obviously meant to both be for the different players. Each player gets their own shape of ship to act as their worker, like this flying saucer here, or this 50s rocket ship here, or this one, which looks very reminiscent of a Klingon bird of prey, in my opinion, though not quite close enough to be a copyright infringement, mind you. And there's a lot of them in here where they look very reminiscent of famous ships. This one reminds me very much of the Firefly, the ship Serenity from the show Firefly and the movie Serenity. Some of them I'm not quite sure where they came from. This one, for instance, if anyone can tell me what they think this one is inspired by, I'd be very interested to know, but I'm not quite sure where that one came from. But as you can see, there's lots of different ships. This one, for instance, is, again, just different enough, but also looks like it's inspired by Star Trek again, because tell me that doesn't look like the Starship Enterprise, except that instead of a full circle, you have a half circle for the top of the ship. So these are really nice. They're different enough that at a quick glance, you can definitely tell that this is your ship versus someone else's ship. This one is like a spaceship fidget spinner, I think. And they're really well done, and I quite like them. The workers didn't need to be so detailed for the game, but I like that they did it because I love these little plastic pieces. Now the next bit of components we have are a bunch of standees. Now these standees are to represent different riffraff cards that you might draw from the deck that will have an effect on gameplay. One of the spaces you can go on lets you draw a card, and then sometimes you run into smugglers or pirates or sheriffs or all sorts of different people that then will do things like allow you to steal resources from other people, or allow anyone who goes to that spot to get extra resources if they're a trader, things like that. Then we have some player boards. Now the player boards are very nice. On the back side, they all have a nice illustration of your type of ship flying around. And on the front side, they show a symbol of your type of ship in the middle, along with areas that correspond to all the different types of areas to get resources from on the board, because you can upgrade your player boards to be able to get bonus resources from there, and we'll show you how that works while we're playing. The final bit of components are the cards. So you have, now the final thing you have here is, with the cards, is there are two decks. There is the Riffraff deck, which has this orange back with the skull and crossbones on it. Here, for instance, is the male courtesan. There are two courtesans in the deck. Here is a racer, for instance. They all have a picture of their character. They have a little funny thing with what they're saying, and then their card effect. These are really, really nice. Now, I particularly like the racer and the pirate and the traders quite a bit. The other deck is full of your Trobols as well as cities. Now, Trobols look like this. They have an illustration of what the Trobols are. They have a listing of what the resources are on top, which you need to catch them. And then they have the victory points that they give you, as well as the credits that they give you if you throw them into a sun. Now, the cities are a little different. They look like this, and they tell you how you get bonus points for that city at the end of the game. In the case of this one, every 3 credits you have at the end of the game will be worth a bonus point. So now I'm going to take you to the table, and we're going to play through a few turns and show you how this game plays. And then we're going to come back. I'm going to rate it and review it, and we're going to get a second opinion from Lynn. Okay, so here we can see a game of Asking for Troubles set up for 3 players. I'm set up on this side over here. We have a second player that I'll be controlling that's set up over here, and Lynn is on that side over there. Each one of us gets our little player board, which shows all the different symbols for the different locations around on the board, because we can add bonuses to them, and we'll show you how that works in a little bit. It also shows a symbol that represents the ship type we've chosen. In my case, this is my ship, and as you can see, it looks like my symbol. Now these are your workers, and you place them on the board to take your actions. The second player has chosen the flying saucers, and Lynn has those 50s looking Buck Rogers type rocket ships, which are really kind of cool. Then you also have to set up all of the resources around the board. So you have space carrots, space slugs, you have the upgrade tokens there, you have credits, you have ore and crystals, you have traps and mega traps, and the big chits here, these are 10 of that particular resource. And there are some of those for everything, except the credits have ones that specifically are 5 and are marked 5. Then you have to shuffle up the riffraff deck and put it on the board. In the case of a 3 to 5 player game, each player places 2 more of their workers on the wormhole, and they can be bought later to upgrade the number of workers you have. Because in a normal 3 to 5 player game, you only start with 1 worker. Then you have to make the trouble deck. Now the way you do this is first you take the city cards and you shuffle them up, then you deal out a number of city cards face down equal to the number of players who are playing the game plus 1. So in this case, since we were playing a 3-player game, that's 4 cards. Then you shuffle up the troubles and you deal out the same number face down and you shuffle them all together. Then you put them down and you shuffle the rest of the troubles and you put them on top of it. That way the cities are going to be all the way in the bottom of the deck, but you don't necessarily know in what order they're going to come up, because the game is going to end when all of these 4 trouble slots are filled with cities. Early on, you have to achieve catching these troubles by trading in the resources that are needed to catch them. So in the case of this trouble here, you trade in 4 space slugs, 2 ore, 2 traps, and this trouble will be worth 10 victory points, and if you blast it into the sun, it'll also be worth 5 credits. But once I catch this trouble, it gets replaced. When all 4 of the troubles are replaced with city cards, because they give bonus points that you can earn through collecting certain things during the game, but no one gets to remove them. They just stay there and they'll give bonus points at the end. When all 4 spaces are replaced with city cards, that's how you know when the game ends. And then whoever has the most points, which are usually gathered by collecting troubles worth quite a bit of points. As you can see out here, we have a 6, a 10, a 10, and a 12. The less points they are, the easier they are to catch. Whoever has the most points will win the game of asking for troubles. So now we're going to run you through a few turns and show you how this goes. Now, turns are very simple in this game. You either place a worker and get what's on that spot, or you recall all your workers from the board. Now, for placing a worker on the board, if you're placing in a spot that your opponent is already taking up, and as you can see, most of these places only take up 1 spot, you can go there. You will just bump your opponent's guy back to them, which means they'll get to keep placing without having to take a turn to recall things. So for my first turn, what I've decided I want to do is I'm going to take my worker and I'm going to place him over here in this area. That is the area where you go to buy upgrades for your board. So now the upgrade I want to purchase is this one here, which gives me extra ore. And the way that works is the first upgrade you buy for any area around your board here is going to cost you 2 credits. However, once you already have an upgrade in that spot, it will cost you an additional credit for every upgrade you have there. You can have as many upgrades as you want. So this is my first upgrade for any spot, so it's just going to cost me 2. So I wish to buy the ore upgrade, which I then will place in my asteroid field area, which means when I go to the asteroid field, I'm going to get an extra ore. Lynn has now dealt up another upgrade to replace it, and it was the crystal. So that is going to be it for me for my first turn. Now, for the second player's first turn, they're going to go to the asteroid field and just collect 2 ore. Now, Lynn, what are you going to do on your first turn?
I am going to go over here.
Oh, you're going to get a card.
I'm going to get 2 credits and a riffraff card.
Okay, so which riffraff card did you get?
Sheriff. Take this card. You may discard this sheriff when encountering another player's pirate. Do not pay the resource to the pirate. Discard that pirate and take all the pirate's resources. We don't have any pirates yet.
But that's a good thing to hold on to.
Yes.
Show that to the camera, though, so they can see what the cards look like. Now, this is a riffraff card, and some riffraff... There are riffraff cards for pirates, and now Lynn has a protection against piracy later on in the game, which is very useful. Plus, she got some credits out of it. Now, it's my turn, and I only have that 1 worker, and he's already on the board, so I'm going to recall. The second player is also going to recall, and Lynn is obviously also going to recall, because again, when you only have the 1 worker, that's basically how it's going to go. Now, I'm going to go to the asteroid field, which I already upgraded my board for, which means I get 3, count them, 3 ore. So I'm going to take 3 ore and put it in my area. Now the second player wants to go back to the asteroid field also, so they're going to bump me. And I'm going to get it back, but they get their 2 ore. But I have my worker back, which means I'm not going to have to recall on my turn. And Lynn, where are you going to go?
I am going to go here.
Oh, buying an upgrade.
I'm going to pay 2 and I'm going to get the crystal.
Okay.
and I'm going to put it over here.
So you are upgrading the Comet, so it gives you 3 crystal when you go there.
Yes.
Very nice. And a credit upgrade just came up there. So now for me, I'm going to place over here on the Wormhole, which allows me to spend 3 credits, which is exactly how many I have, plus 3 ore, which is also exactly how many I have, and get another one of my ships. So I just increased by placing here the number of workers I have, and I got another ship out. So now it is the second player's turn, and they're going to do a recall.
I'm going to recall.
And now I'm going to play over here, and I'm going to get 2 credits and a card. And my card is the Smuggler, who says, let's see, this feather brain guy knows a guy who knows a guy. Pick any one connection card available on the board and add it to your ship card on the Tyson Comet side for free, which that is really cool. This is a really good card. I like the Smuggler a lot. So I'm going to discard him now because I don't need to hold on to him, but I get to take either space carrots or credits and add it to my board on the Comet side. So I'm going to take, it looks like everybody out there, most of the people out here need carrots. So you know what, I'm gonna take the carrots and add it to the Comet side. So I got a free upgrade there. That was really nice. So now it is second player's turn, and they're going to buy an upgrade for their board. So they're going to spend 2 credits to get an upgrade. And what they're going to do is they're going to buy this credit upgrade that just came out, and they're going to put that on the planet with the riffraff, so that when they go there, they will now get 3 credits plus a riffraff card, which is really cool. So, and Lynn, what are you doing on your turn?
I'm going to bump him off of that.
Whoop, he gets his back.
Because I want to pay 2 and buy one of the ore.
Fair enough. Way to upgrade your board. So now I am going to recall because I have to. And now player 2, though, they're going to play over here, and they're going to spend 3 ore and 3 credits, and they're going to get another one of their ships.
I'm going to recall.
Okay. So now I am, let's see, so I've got some good stuff going on here. Lots of different things. I need the crystals for the slugs. I'm going to play on the Comet, which gets me 2 crystals and a carrot. So I'm going to take a space carrot and the 2 crystals, and I am good. Oh, and then the second player is going to look around, and they're going to play over here. So they get 3 credits because of their upgrade and a riffraff card. So let's see here. So they got a pirate. Keep this card and place the stand. It's the little tentacly pirate, if you could find it for me. On a location without a stand. Before visiting that location, other players must choose a resource to place on this card. So now they're going to put that on the asteroid belt. So now, but Lynn, of course, has a defense card. Now, how does your card counter that?
I have to discard it when he encounters another player's pirate.
Mm-hmm. And then you get to...
If the pirate has resources on them, I take the resources.
So you want to wait, basically, and then you get to take all the resources. Does the pirate get discarded?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so that's really good. Well, it's your turn. What are you going to do?
Well, I would normally wait, but I really want another rocket ship. So I am going to discard him to discard the pirate.
Okay, fair enough.
And I get 3 ore because I have an upgrade.
You have an upgrade for an extra ore there. Very good. Yes, because it is very good to get those extra rocket ships. That is completely understandable with how good it is to get those rocket ships. So I'm going to go here, which I could get a space slug for free, or I can trade up to 2 crystals to get 3 space slugs. I'm going to do that. I'm going to trade 2 crystals to get 3 space slugs there. And then, let's see here. Then for player 2, looks like they've got all their stuff out on the board, don't they? So they're just going to recall.
Recall.
Okay, and then also I have all my stuff on the board, so I am also going to recall. So now back to player 2. Player 2 is going to go here and pick up a couple of crystals.
I am going to
Buy another ship?
my first ship.
Well, no, your second ship. You start with your first ship.
Well, yeah, but
You're going to buy your
my first expansion.
your first expansion ship. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, so now back to me, and I'm going to, let's see here. I'm going to go here and pick up 3 ore, but, oh, and the pirate is gone, so I don't have to worry about that. And then it is back to player 2, who is going to go here and pick up 2 space carrots.
I am going to, I'm going to go over here.
2 credits and a card?
Yes. Let's see. Trader. Take this card and 1 space carrot. Place the trader stand. The trader looks like a plant. Place the trader stand on any location without a stand. Place as many space carrots by the stand as there are players. When visiting this location, players take 1 carrot. When all the carrots are gone, you discard the card and remove the stand.
Okay, so where is the carrot trader going?
I am going to put the carrot trader by over here.
Ah, in the upgrade area. So he gets 3 carrots. So I'm going to recall, because all of my ships are out. Where is my second ship? I lost him. Oh, wait, no.
Where is your second ship?
Oh, no, I didn't need to recall. I'm sorry, I'm just confused. I do have another second ship. Okay, that was me. That was my fault there, 100%. So I'm going to, I remember what I wanted to do. It's hard keeping track of 2 different players when I'm controlling 2 people. But I wanted to get some traps. So traps are gotten over here. You can get 1 for free, or you can trade 1 credit in to have 2, or 2 credits to have 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade 1 credit in and get 2 traps. There we go. And then the second player over here is definitely, that's what I was thinking of, has no ships left. He's going to recall his 2 ships.
So am I.
Okay, now I do need to recall my 2 ships. I'm going to recall my 2 ships. And back to the second player. The second player is going to go over here to the asteroid belt and get 2 ore. And then what are you going to do?
I'm going to go to the upgrade, pay 2 credits for a carrot, and get a free carrot.
Very nice. So where's the, and you're upgrading, you're upgrading everything for the same areas that normally give them to you, so they'll just give you more of them.
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm going to, I do like those free carrots actually, but I can't afford to go there yet. So I'm going to, let me see, I'm going to take one of mine, and let's see from what I need here. I'm going to go here and get myself 2 carrots. And then the second player is going to go here and trade in 3 credits as well as 3 ore, and whoops, I dropped 1, and 3 ore, and they're going to get their last expansion ships. They have all 3 of their ships now.
I'm going to bump them off
Of the asteroid belt?
Yes, and I get 3 ore.
Yes, because you upgraded there. So I have 1 ship left here, and I need to double check my math real quick. But yes, I can do this. I'm going to the planet Orange, and at the planet Orange, I have the resources here to get this 10-point trouble. Now this 10-point trouble costs 3 ore, 2 space carrots, 2 space slugs, and a trap. And as you can see, I have 2 space carrots, 2 space slugs, 3 ore, and 1 trap. So that is all good. I'm going to return all those to the bank. So the slugs go back over there, the carrots go over there, the ore goes over there. We replace the trouble there with a new 12-pointer that just came out. Now my 10-pointer is worth 10 points. And at any time during the game, and I'm going to show you that in a little bit, I'm going to do that so we can show it. I can throw them into the sun to also get credits. I don't lose the points for doing that though, so I'm going to show you how that works. So now it is the second player's turn, and they are going to bump Lynn off of the asteroid belt because they want some more ore. There we go. And Lynn, what are you going to do?
I'm going to go and just get a trap.
Okay. Now I am going to recall my 2 ships, and then the second player is going to place one of their ships on the, let's see, they're going to go over here so that they can get the 3 credits because of their upgrade, plus a card, and they get a courtesan. Keep this card and place this stand on any location without a stand. After this turn, when any player visits that location, they may pay 2 credits to revisit the location. They take a new turn at the same location again. Then that player moves this stand to another location. So that is the courtesan. And Lynn, would you find me the standee for the courtesan, please? Thank you. They're going to place the courtesan over here on that ringed planet that gives you space carrots. So now, Lynn, what are you going to do?
I'm going to recall.
Okay, now I am going to place one of mine on the star of orange. Now, when I go there, I may throw as many Trobols as I want into the star. I only have 1, and usually I save up a few before I do this. But I can throw this Trobol into the star, and he's worth 5 credits. So it's actually not that bad to do it right now because I could really use the credits. So I flip the card face down. It will still be worth its points at the end of the game, but it's up to everybody now else to remember how many points I have because it's no longer public knowledge. And I get 5 credits for throwing him into the star. So again, the only difference between when you throw between not throwing a Trobol into the star and throwing a Trobol into the star, they're both going to be worth the same amount of victory points, but when you throw them into the star, you get the bonus credits. And that's basically it. That's how you play a game of asking for Trobols. It's very fast. It's 1 action on your turn. You move around, you upgrade your player board so that you can get more resources whenever you go to specific locations out on the board. You also often will be bumping your, especially the more ships you get, you'll be bumping your opponent's ships off the board to give them free moves. So you kind of want to have a lot of ships because it increases your chance of someone really wanting to go to some place you've already put a ship on, and therefore prolongs the amount of time before you have to do a recall action. So a big part of the game is always saving up to get all of your ships available, but the main point is to save up the right resources to buy the Trobol cards, which are worth a good amount of points, and then also can be worth bonus credits. And some of them can be worth quite a few bonus credits. As you see here, this one is worth 8. And then you can throw them into the store orange to get your bonus credits. Now you keep playing until you wind up drawing all of the cities to replace the Trobol cards as they are taken. So let's say that Trobol card was taken, let's say all of these were taken, and we eventually draw the cities. Now the cities have fairly self-explanatory bonuses, but you don't know which ones are going to be in the deck until they come up. But they allow you in the last couple of turns to try to make a last mad dash for extra points. So for instance, this city gives you a bonus point for every 3 crystal you have. So suddenly, if this comes up as the first one of those, there's a reason just to grab a bunch of crystals. This one gives you a point for every 2 traps. This one gives you a point for every 2 space slugs. And this one gives you a point for every 3 credits you have. So as you can see, there is a way to just get a few extra points to try to edge out your opponents. Now, once all of those come up, the game ends. You count up your points based on your Trobols that you have captured, and the points based on the cities that you qualify for. And then whoever has the most points wins the game of asking for Trobols. So now we're going to head back to the table. We're going to talk about how this game feels. We're going to review it, and we're going to rate it. Okay, welcome back. So that was how you play a game of asking for Trobols. Now, this game is a fairly basic worker placement game. You place a piece, you get the ability. There are a couple things that do make it stand out from other standard straight-up worker placement games, though. One is the ability to upgrade your board. Upgrading your personal board means you get bonus resources from certain spaces, whereas everyone else needs to upgrade their board to do that. So if they haven't, they're not getting those resources. Those are just for you. In addition, one of the interesting things about this is many other older basic worker placement games, usually when you play on a spot, it's blocked. And it's blocked until you decide to recall and take that piece off. But the ability here to still go to that spot and bump off the piece actually changes the basic worker placement mechanic quite a bit. And it's very interesting because so going on a space can still be strategic, but it's not, oh, I'm going here because I'm going to make sure that nobody else can go there. It's, I'm going here because I think everyone else is going to want to go there, and they're going to bump my piece off, and I'm going to get it back. And then I'm going to get to take another action before I have to do a recall, which is great. And going on the most popular spaces can cause you to get lots more actions than your opponents, because they're going to be recalling more often than you will if they keep bumping your pieces. So there is some strategy to that. Now, the rules are very easy to understand. This is a very easy game to just pick up and play, very easy to teach, very easy to learn. And it's crazy fun. And it's so fast. The one action per turn keeps this game moving. I take an action, you take an action, you take an action, I recall, you recall, you recall, and it just goes, it goes, it goes, it goes. It's very, very quick, and I like that. There's very little downtime, and it's why the game can come in a fairly short amount of time. It does not drag on at all. It has never overstayed its welcome yet for our gaming group. The light aspect of it also makes it a really good game for teaching people the concept of worker placement. This is now my favorite intro-level worker placement game. If you're playing with someone who's new to gaming and they've never played a worker placement game before, this is where you should start. Play this and then graduate on to something more advanced like the Manhattan Project or Lords of Waterdeep or Oath of the Brotherhood, The Chosen, or whatever other worker placement game you want to graduate onto. This is where you should go first, because this very well teaches the basic concepts of worker placement and is much easier to understand than any of those other games that are a little bit more advanced. I really like this game. It's quick, simple, and fun. I've never had a bad time playing it. I asked to play this game a lot. Lynn asked to play this game a lot. This game hits the table in lately an above average amount compared to other games in our collection. And I have a feeling this is going to be in our collection for a very long time to come, because most of our other worker placement games they're on the more advanced side. They're much more complicated. It fills a niche that we didn't really have in our collection as an intro level worker placement game. And for all those reasons and how much I enjoyed and how much I want to recommend it to you, I'm going to give Asking for Trobols 8 out of 10 stars. Now, I do not give ratings that high lightly. This is a great game. I really like this game. But differing opinions do matter. So let's check in with Lynn. Lynn, how many stars out of 10 are you going to give Asking for Trobols?
8.
So Lynn also gave Asking for Trobols 8 out of 10 stars. And now she absolutely loves this game, and she's been asking to play it a lot. Worker placement is one of her favorite styles of games, and this has lately been one of her favorite worker placement games to ask to play. So there you go, 8 stars from me, 8 stars from Lynn, 16 total stars from us here at the Board Game Captain. We highly recommend this game to you if you like worker placement games, if you are looking for a lighter, more entry-level worker placement game to play with kids or play with people who are not used to playing games. This is your game. So there you have it. Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns either on Asking for Trobols or on this video? Feel free to put them in the comments down below. Tell me, have you played Asking for Trobols? And if not, what's your favorite worker placement game? Go ahead and put it in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see us do more like it, be sure to give this video a like, share it on any social media that you may have, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain, that's Captain spelt with a K, on YouTube, and hit that little bell icon on my channel so that you'll get notifications every time I upload a new video. And until next time, game on.